Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. While pumps are great, they tell you everything. Sometimes there's a glitch. This pump here is telling me my blood sugar is down to 3.3. It's not 3.3. I just did a finger poke check. It said 9. I typed that in. Calibration not accepted. So I have to wait 15 minutes before I can do it again. Meanwhile, I did one in between, and my blood sugar ended up to be 9. So we'll wait, and then we'll type it in. It says 10 minutes, I'm assuming. But we're all good. So I can't tell you that, but we can take a look at time and range. Time and range was 91%. Take a look at breakdown here. The time above 10 was 0. In range, 61%. Below that is 9. Your average blood sugar is 7. Hopefully when this is done, we can do another blood sugar and I won't have to change my pump. Not my pump, my sensor. It's a pain to do. You have to wait 2 hours and then do it again and do it again. So, I'm going to wait half an hour before I do this. So, here it is 4:15. I'm going to wait till 4:45 and do another blood sugar then. It's all good. Now, what I really want to discuss today, we're running late on this intro, is what every blood sugar truly is. Stay tuned. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. I've said this a number of times on this YouTube channel. Your last blood sugar tells the whole story. You may have been perfect for weeks, and then all of a sudden you drop. You do a blood test and you drop. That may be great, you have all that backup, but what's causing that? So, it could be you having trouble along, and all of a sudden you've got the perfect blood sugar. How can I keep this happening? You don't want to constantly be sitting there every second. But write down when you had your blood sugar, what you kind of did with it. When you get home, take a look at your graphs. Now, for me, I have graphs all along here. It tells me what my blood sugar has been doing. It tells a story of what's going on. And that is not always bad. It could be that you are finally doing something right. Having these on the phone now are great. Having it with this is even better. If I somehow leave my phone somewhere, or I left it at home, it's the same sort of thing, or I lost my phone, I can get all that information on my pump. So you come up with a lousy blood sugar. Your blood sugar is high. It needs some investigating, and I think I just said this in the last video. You need to determine what's caused this. I'm sorry, I had a nurse come in here, so I lost track of where I was. But what we're talking to you about is each blood sugar you get, and it's not coming up with a number right now, should be there to tell you what your blood sugar has been doing, how you're doing with controlling your diabetes. You should be celebrating any sort of win. If you've been over 15 for weeks now and you finally get a morning blood sugar that is less than 10, that's a plus. That's great. Now, it doesn't mean you get there and eat a bowl full of sugary cereal, but be proud of yourself. You've accomplished something. Your doctor, I'm sure, would be pleased on any aspect of care that you get. Don't dwell on, oh, my blood sugar was high. Oh, it should be, what caused it? Let's move it along. Do I need to take a correction? Do I have to revisit on how to count carbs? Do I have to go through in a book? I can remember, and this is with food years ago. I know we're talking two different things here, but food, I can remember reading the exchange book, and it says, yes, you should have a scale. Yes, you should have measuring cups and measuring spoons and everything. Don't go and eyeball it till you're absolutely sure. And then it was kind of like, well, once you're absolutely sure, you don't need the eyeball. where we are today with the glucometers and everything allows us tighter control. You may have a super high blood sugar. Okay, let's bring it down nicely and leave in, and then continue on. Don't get overzealous in treating lows or highs. If you're low, you want quick acting sugar to bring you up so that you feel better. But after a low, maybe 2 hours, you should check. And that blood sugar will tell you how well you did with your blood sugar. It's as easy as that. It's kind of like a stadium scorecard. And if you excuse me, it's telling me I have to go calibrate. So I'll be right back. Okay, I did a blood test. And now it's calibrating. Just a sec here. I don't know what's going on. It's not showing here. Sometimes I just have to go and do it again. So I did calibrate again. I don't know what's going on. But 8.5. Why did I calibrate, or why did I do another blood test? I treated, I had pop, I had peanut butter. So I took a look at it and did a blood sugar, came back at 9. The pump didn't like it, so it was giving me a different number. We're still experiencing the calibration. So this is at 8.5. This just says calibrating. Sometimes it takes a bit for both to work. But what I'm trying to instill here is you may have a whole week of great blood sugars. One day, it isn't. You have to treat, give insulin if need be, and carry on. A lot of people will be doing great with control, and they will see that they totally screwed up. And, it's not always your fault. But if it is your fault, admit to it, pull your britches up, and keep going. There's an awful lot to diabetes control. I don't pretend to know it all. I'm just giving you my experience. This is still calibrating, so we'll just leave it. And we know it's not accepted here yet, but it's coming. The little circle there isn't going. So, one blood sugar out of range isn't a problem. We want to make sure we go back and get back into range as soon as possible. Hopefully you've had a discussion with your doctor and saying, I've been having a real problem trying to do things. Now this is showing 6.1. And my pump is showing 6.1. So it's going to come up. It's going to take a moment to equalize out. When in doubt, if you get a number that seems way out of place, retest. What I really like about the new pumps is they calibrate pretty quick. So 6.1, I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to continue on my merry way. If you're finding you're doing something great, carry on with it. Don't think you're doing just wonderful because you get one blood sugar. Celebrate that blood sugar, but maybe when you're getting 5 in a row, real celebration. And when I say celebrate, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to drink, have to have candy. If you like bowling, go out and do. I've said it before. Making yourself proud of what you've done. It should be enough that you're feeling great, but keeping control. Now, a little bit later, we'll see how I calibrate with tomorrow. And later tonight, I should be pretty close. I was out of range a bit today because today was sensor change day. So I think that played a little bit of a role. And they hadn't gone through the full sign-in. And so this kind of worked out to showing I went from 3.3 to 9, and we're out of it, and I'm still hovering around 6.1, but I'll get there. So what have we tried to learn? This one's been a mix-up, but we tried to tell you, if you get a good blood result, celebrate, be proud of what you accomplished. If you've been high or in a low blood sugar, celebrate your wins. You deserve it. Always remember, there is always room for improvement. Doesn't mean you're the worst diabetic ever. Just means you have to work on learning how to control your disease, your condition. I can remember, I laugh about that. I had an endocrinologist who was world famous. And when I was in the hospital one time with a few other diabetics, he came in and said, "It's not a disease, it's a condition." And we said, well, what's really the difference? A condition is something you control. A disease is something in which the disease controls you. And I thought, damn right. So, if you get one good result, may not throw a big party over it. Maybe a month, 2 months of having excellent blood sugars, maybe a time to party. I have to apologize, this video has been sort of all over the place. And with that, have a super night and day, whatever it is, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.